I made sure to get a present together for my grandkids for making it into that school. I've got them all building block sets that they've been asking for, as well as some games and toys that they can play when they have free time. Oh, but your son isn't going to be getting anything, as I really hate you and view him as a stranger. So when I bring all these gifts out to the rest of the kids, make sure your son doesn't scream and cry calling it unfair. Because it is.
I really don't care about you hating me, but could you leave my kid out of it? He hasn't done anything wrong, and isn't even old enough to hurt you, even if he wanted to.
Leave your kid out of it. But isn't that your kid, your son of all people? Then wouldn't that mean all the things he has to go through are your fault?
What do you mean by that? My son hasn't done anything wrong to deserve your crap.
But you have, and that's why your son is going to have to pay for it as well.
Again with this? I have not been using any of Jack's savings for myself. That is just him making crap up about me so that I look like the bad guy. Why can't you just accept the things I have been saying and stop treating your son like a spoiled brat?
So, Elena, you're calling Jack a liar now? How terrible. Not only have you been stealing all of his money, but now you're going to paint him as a liar? And to think I was so proud of my son for getting married to you so many years ago. I thought he found himself a trophy wife, considering how gorgeous you look on the outside and how well you seem to cook. But now I am really starting to see your true colors. And boy, are they nasty.
Stop saying that. I have not been stealing anything from Jack, and I'm not this nasty woman you keep making yourself think I am.
Could a liar like you please shut up? This has to mean that your son is a liar as well, right? Which means I want you both to go home now. I don't want you two unethical freaks in my house anymore. As you know, my family is something that I must protect, as the head of the family after all. And when there are two liars like you trying to cause havoc for all the rest of us, you're really making me look like a bad person.
What? How dare you say that about my son? He's only 6 years old, for crying out loud.
And when it comes to a liar, it doesn't matter what age they are. Also, what is that other man you brought here all about? Don't tell me that he's your secret boyfriend, and you're feeling bold enough to bring him to see your husband's family.
Just like I had explained to you a second ago, he's my little brother. As a part of my family, I wanted to bring him out here to say hi and introduce himself to you. And actually, he was the one that first said that he wanted to see what Jack's family was all about.
I don't want to learn about a dirty man like that. No, thank you. You take that man back with you as well, please. Considering that he's your little brother, that must make him a liar as well, right?
What the hell did I even do to deserve all this? Why do I have to be treated like I'm nothing more than a deceiving animal in this family?
You have to understand more than anyone else what you did to end up there, right? Now, you better start thanking me for even bringing you out to this family gathering, you thief. Aren't you happy that you were able to eat with the rest of your family today? Well, consider this the last time I invite you to a family gathering now.
The only reason you asked me to come out here today, to be around the rest of the family, is so that you could complain about me in front of all of them, right? You wanted a crowd in front of you, so that all your complaints and then jokes about me could be heard, and you'd have your pride grow even larger, right? I never married Jack wanting to join a family like this, and I can't believe it took me almost a decade to realize that you're all nothing more than egotistical trash.
Well, excuse me. How dare you say something like that about me? Even if you can't see it, I've invited you here out of kindness. You think I'd ever have my son come to a family gathering like this one without his wife and son? You all needed to be here, and as you could tell by the way he was laughing at you earlier, he loves the way I treat you guys.
I've had enough of this. I'm heading back to my place right now.
Please, go back to your home right now, and take that disgusting son and brother of yours with you.
I'm never going to forgive you for all of this.
Hey, Elena, are we really going home now? After everything that's happened here already?
We are. If we have to stay here any longer, I'm going to start feeling really bad for Cameron. Also, aren't you being bothered by the way my mother-in-law is acting? Both her and my husband seem to think you're just as bad as my husband has led my mother-in-law into thinking I am.
You know, actually, I'm not bothered at all by the way they pick on me. Because I don't give a crap about any of these losers. So honestly, I'm enjoying myself pretty well. They have at least let us eat some of this really nice food, right? Now, if you're going to leave this gathering without even doing or saying anything, that's going to cause the most problems for everyone, right? Are you trying to walk off with your tail tucked between your legs today? Because that's not like you at all. And you should be coming out here with me to fight back at these assholes.
There's no reason for you to want to stay here anymore, right? I get that you have something up your sleeve for some of these people, but there are kids here, and I don't want Cameron seeing his uncle getting all crazy. Maybe later on you can take my husband out for drinks or something, and give him a talking to then.
Damn it! What the hell is wrong with this whole family? I can see that your mother-in-law is quite the bitch that you were telling me about. But your husband isn't any better, is he? Which is crazy considering how much of a weakling he was the first time I met him.
When Jack is in front of all his family and friends, he starts to act all tough like that. In the past, he seemed to be doing really good for himself, and everyone would always spoil him for that. And when it comes to his mother, she'll listen to anything he says to her without thinking twice about it.
So then the both of them are complete idiots. Gross. But the funny thing is, Jack left his job and is now unemployed, right? And when I say left his job, I mean he got fired for being a hopeless idiot in that company, who couldn't even understand that his job was on the line months in advance, when he could get chewed out by everyone there. And now he's having to live off all the money you're making, right? What the hell does he think he's doing acting all high and mighty like that, when he's having to live off his wife's income after being fired for being useless?
Right now, his mother doesn't know that he's unemployed, and she also doesn't know about how I'm the one paying all the bills at home, and I'm the one giving her a monthly allowance right now. She really has no clue about anything, and that has to do primarily with Jack always lying about everything. And Jack is trying to keep things that way between her and us, until the day he dies.
What a childish bastard he is. I'm going to vomit over how gross those two really are as mother and son. How dare he act all kind towards you at home, only to put you down like he has been the moment he comes home to all of his family. What an asshole.
I know. Jack has also been going to his mother for money lately that he can go out and play with, and he gets her to give him some by lying and saying that I've been stealing all of his savings. And that is why I'm being viewed as the enemy now by the whole family.
Why the hell are you letting things stay like that, Elena? You just need to tell everyone the truth right now.
I have been trying to, but not a single person is going to believe what I say. Just like I was saying, everyone in this family spoils the hell out of Jack, which means they will all choose to trust him over me.
Jeez, why the hell have you been hiding all this from me? You should have come to me early about all this, asking me what to do.
But Thomas, by bringing all of this up with you, things are only going to become a lot more complicated, right? Don't worry about it. I'm going to get a divorce from Jack, and then I'm going to cut ties to all these clowns in his family.
That would just be you letting them win, wouldn't it? They'd all continue to think of you and call you a liar, right? Also, I'm not going to let you just run away from them all right now without getting a little payback for what they've all done to you and Cameron.
I knew something like this was going to happen, and that's why I didn't want to bring you along. Cameron is here as well, and I didn't want you to make a huge deal out of all of this.
Everything's going to be fine. I promise to show you just how well I can protect both you and Cameron. Which is why we need to start thinking right here and now how we're going to strike back at these bastards. Don't worry about a thing, please. I'm telling you that I can take care of a lot of things here, as long as you trust me.
I'm happy to hear that you want to protect us so much, but I'm still not sure about all of this.
I will not let assholes like this lot get away with picking on you all they want, thinking that they can do it without repercussions. I appreciate and respect you too much to allow that kind of crap. So please, let me do something about this.
You appreciate and respect me. You really don't have to care about me that much, Thomas.
You were the only parent I had most of my life, though. Which means the only choice I have is to care about all of that.
Thomas, thank you so much. Excuse me, Lilia. Why are you being so cruel towards my son by ignoring him when he's been trying to wave and say hi to you? Can't you at least wave back at him and act like you care when we run into one another like this while being out and about?
Huh? Why do I have to wave at a couple of strangers like you're asking me to? I told you before that I want nothing to do with lying little children like the son you have there, right?
But Cameron has told me how much he loves you. Why can't you see that every time he calls out saying Grammy to you? Ignoring him like that is only going to make him feel worse, you know? Don't you feel bad for doing such a thing?
Not one bit. He's a stranger to me after all. When it comes to how strangers like him are feeling, I don't really care.
There's no way. I can't believe what I'm hearing from you right now. Well, if we're both just strangers to you, then forget about your monthly allowance.
What?
There's no reason for people to be giving an allowance of money every month to a complete stranger, right? So I'm going to stop sending you that money I've been sending each month.
Oh, what do you think you're going on about? The one who has been sending me all this money has been my son. There's no way you can decide whether to stop doing that or not.
I have been explaining things to you many times. Know about that. But let me say this one last time in the hopes of getting something through to you. I've been sending you that money in Jack's place for a while now. Right now, your son is unemployed and has not had an income.
And like I've said, who do you think is going to believe such a baseless lie as that one? For Christ's sake, this is what I've been saying when labeling you a liar.
All right then, go ahead and don't believe anything I'm telling you right now. But don't worry, because today I've made sure to bring along some evidence with me.
Evidence? What is all of this, Elena?
I made sure to take an audio recording of the conversation I had with your son while at our house. And you can hear him saying it all clear as day right there, right? He tells me to get each month's allowance ready for you, and if I don't, he's going to start doubting me.
Wait, I know what he said in that recording, but this has to be something you've just made up, right?
Something I've just made up. But you can tell by the way he speaks and acts that he is your son Jack, right? How do you think I could have gone about making something like this up?
I'm sure you just went out and found someone who sounds like Jack and used them to play out a scenario where he says all those things to you. If that wasn't the case, then this would be all too strange. How could someone like Jack be unemployed at the moment?
Lilia, I get that you don't want to accept the reality that I've shown you about your son and all, but I've shown you the audio I recorded from one of our conversations, so there's no way you can still doubt everything I'm saying. I have been the one behind all of that money you've received each and every month, and the one who has been paying all the bills, and everything at home is me.
But whenever Jack comes over to my house asking to borrow some money, he told me about you. He goes on about how you're using up all of his savings, and that he really has him on edge. He's even crying when he says all of that to me. I am not going to think of all those tears as a part of a lie.
You can't see them as lies because you've spoiled the son of a bitch for too long now.
No, I haven't. He is a perfect kid who could never lie like that to anyone. And he's such a nice kid that he's even willing to forgive you still for going through and stealing all his savings.
All right, I get it. So you're going to just label all of this evidence I have for you as made up, right?
Yes. That's what I'm going to say about it all until the day I die. There's no way I'm letting his own wife call him a liar like you've been.
Then I'm going to start sending this recording to other members of the family.
What?
Not only are they all family of Jack's, but they also happen to be more judgmental of you when it comes to him.
Wait, hold on a moment. You don't have to do all of that. Stop it.
Why shouldn't I do all of this? If all of this evidence was faked by me, then they should all be smart enough to tell that about it as well, right?
I understand that, but I don't want any of them to get the wrong idea from it. And some of this could affect Jack's image. So please, stop trying to make such a big deal out of everything.
Nope, because my image has been badly damaged by the both of you for a long time now. So there's really no reason for me to stop now.
Hey, I will forgive you for everything I said about you before. So please, stop. I do not want people going around saying and showing things that would make the rest of this family stop trusting him.
I'm not going to stop, Lilia. In the past, I asked you to stop making fun of me and treating my son like crap, yet you never once did you? I didn't really care that you were harassing me, but when you started to say things about Cameron, and then about my little brother, you really crossed the line. And when I realized that Jack was right there with you making fun of the three of us like that, I lost all the faith I ever had in the man. So forget about trying to stop me now.
I told you I'd apologize for all of that. And besides, if you start showing that kind of harmful evidence about my son, then it's only going to come back around to you, and more people are going to hate you for it, right?
First of all, none of this is a lie, so it's not like they will really have any reason to hate me anymore for it. Also, whichever way you try and look at all of this, most of the family already hates me to the core, so I can't be seen as any worse for this. I'm seen as the devil for having gone and used all my husband's savings like you've told them all to believe.
What do you want me to do that will get you to stop?
I'm really sorry, but there is nothing you can do to get me to stop. I am past that point of being convinced.
What?
Would you just stop talking about getting me to stop doing this already? I have already made up my mind and will make sure that the rest of the family hears this recording. It's already too late for you anyway, to be honest. I made sure to send them all this evidence before I even started talking with you, because I knew this would happen.
What have you done? Now everyone is going to view Jack as being a massive liar.
Well, he has been lying to everyone, so it can't be helped that he'll be labeled such a thing. Honestly, I think that name suits him pretty well, as calling me a liar even though I never once lied didn't really sit right with me.
You bitch! All right then, so you're trying to get my whole family to view me as the enemy now, even though I'm the head of the family and am in charge of everyone in it. What do you think you're trying to pick a fight with the head of the family?
I don't care who you are.
What did your crazy behavior today. Well, so be it. I happen to have someone that can handle all of this for me. I'm not sure what's going to happen to you next, so I'd prepare yourself for the worst.
Are you threatening me now?
All I'm saying is, I don't know what'll happen to you next. So please, prepare yourself for the worst if that makes you feel the most comfortable.
Hey, you old bitch. What the hell are you trying to do? You really think you're doing the right thing by hiring some muscle to come out and attack my older sister like that?
Your older sister? So you must be Elena's little brother then. I saw what happened with my own eyes. You went in and tapped that man I hired, and almost turned him into a pulp. That right there is a perfect crime that I'll have you sent to prison for. I made sure to take a video of everything of the matter.
Sure. Go ahead and give that to the police.
What?
You're telling me you took a video of two massive men coming up to my sister and grabbing her by the wrist, only to have me come in and kick both of their asses, right? I would love for you to upload that onto the internet if you could, please. I'd love to see what everyone has to say about it.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Anyway, I had a good talk with one of those men you had come out to try and assault my sister. They don't have anything to do with you, besides the money you paid them to come out here and kill my sister.
What?
Was it really that simple for you to get two men to try and kill her? Well, if that's how you want to play these games, then we'll see what happens to you.
I have a lot more people like those two. I'm serious. Just this time I had to hire some extra hands was all.
Is that right? You must have a lot of pride to be saying things like that about a crime you committed. Then send some of those men of yours out here to fight me, instead of two men you just paid to come here. I'll make sure to show them as well that I mean business.
Aha! So all you seem to think about is violence then. What do you two think you're doing, acting all tough, when you were nothing more than lowlives?
Nothing more than lowlives?
I'm right, aren't I? Compared to my family and I, you all are nothing more than a couple of moneyless lowlives. There was never a moment where I even thought that my son should be getting married to someone like your lowlife sister.
I suppose you shouldn't have, considering that all your son is a lying spoiled brat who has nothing to show for now. My sister is a woman who stepped in to raise me after the both of our parents died a long time ago. Your son and her are nothing alike.
What?
Seeing all of you filth looking down upon my sister like you guys are all that much better than her really begins to show just what kind of bugs are crawling around inside your heads. You think you're something because you're the head of your house? All that ever happened was you getting born into that family, woman. You're way too old now to be acting all tough just because your parents happen to be known as some very tough gang leaders. That makes you quite the lowlife yourself, doesn't it?
What the hell? How dare you talk to me in such a way, you rotten garbage?
Of course I'll talk with you like this. I mean, I'm having to talk to a smelly old bitch that thinks she's some kind of queen. Now, I'm going to leave the rest to my sister. And just know, however many more men you send after her, it's not going to make a difference. I'm going to protect her to my last breath.
Ugh. Who the hell is that hoodlum you have working for you? Are you not embarrassed of a man like that as your little brother?
No, I'm not going to take that from some old bitch who thinks they can hire two hoodlums to come out and beat me to death. He's my little brother, and I love him with all my heart.
What? What kind of violent man?
My parents both passed away when him and I were very young, and ever since then, I made sure to take their place raising him whichever way I could. But even though I was trying my best to be like a mother to him, there was still a lot of troubles we had, and at one point, he went through a period of being a bit reckless, and that's when he learned to fight.
He didn't just learn to fight like that while being a little reckless, though. He took down two men twice his size.
I'm sure he may not look the part under all his baggy clothing, but my brother has been training a lot recently in order to make sure I stay safe. He wasn't going to lose to a couple of steroid-using dumbasses.
Hey, do you think you can keep what all just happened a secret from the rest of the family?
What was that? Did I just hear some little bitch whining about not wanting to have all of this exposed?
You know what I want, right? About what just happened with those two men and your brother. There was a lot to take in. I may have taken things a bit too far there, and I apologize for it.
You're only apologizing now because I wasn't beaten to a pulp today by them, right? Well, that's not going to work on me. I'm going to make sure that everyone knows about what happened between you and us today.
Hold on a second. You do something like that to me, I won't even be able to stay in this town ever again.
I'm sure that's true. You'll be stuck dealing with the court system for a while after all.
What? The court system? What are you talking about right now, Elena?
You get what I'm saying, right? I'm going to be suing your ass for what you pulled. After all the insults you've given me before today, and then your attempt at murdering me, I'm going to make sure you pay for all of it.
Hold it right there. Now you're taking things way too far. This is all something that's taken place within the family, isn't it?
Within the family? I'm not a part of your family, though. I'm just a stranger to you, all right.
No, wait. About that. For the time being, please do not sue me.
I'm going to. You really think I can forgive you for all the things you said about my son and my brother? From now on, you and that unemployed brat of yours are going to be on your own. Good luck.
Good luck? Why would you say something like that?
Thomas made sure to have a closer look into Jack for me. He happens to be addicted to gambling right now and is in a whole lot of debt because of it. And on top of all that, he's been cheating on me with at least 3 different women now.
What?
Along with what I have on you, I'm also going to be taking him to court and getting a very large settlement from him. When that happens, Jack is going to be pretty much useless to you as well, right?
Jack Winton, are you telling me the truth right now?
I sure am. And all of that money he lied to you in order to borrow, he put into the casino as well as into his other women. And the funny thing is, all of that money you've been lending to him after he'd asked came from the allowances I'd give you at the start, right?
Yes, that's correct. And that's why so much of the money that was given to me vanished. That's why I had to start going into debt myself, having nothing to use to pay off my bills.
Really?
I don't work either. And with Jack always coming over asking me for money while crying, all my money slowly went away, and I was never able to get it back.
Is that right? Well, it's too bad for you then, isn't it?
Too bad for me. It's because you went and used up all of his savings that he had to come to me, looking for money that he could use to enjoy himself.
Wait, what? You're still thinking something like that to be true? Jesus Christ. I showed you the evidence, woman. The one that has been using all the money in this house has been your son.
I will not believe that. My son could never be that kind of monster.
Honestly, I don't give a damn if you believe me or not. Later on, you'll be seeing me again in court, and there the judge will help explain to you the truth. Also, pretty soon here, all of your family and friends will stop trusting in you and Jack as well. And then it'll be down to you two to figure things out.
They are all backstabbers, being a part of the same family, yet doubting my son and I. I haven't lied about a single thing.
But Lilia, you said this all yourself, right? If the parent is a liar, that makes their kid one as well, right? Therefore, if the kid is a liar, wouldn't that also make their parent one as well?
You don't have to thank me for any of this. By the way, when it came to that old annoying bitch, she went on and on about being the head of that family, when in reality, she wasn't crap.
Thomas, thank you so much for helping me this time. Well, seeing that she won't be able to survive without the money I've been sending her, that makes sense. What head of the family are you anyway, kind of thing?
People with prides as massive as hers always end up destroying their lives in the end. By the way, Elena, things worked out perfectly, right? And partially because I came in and screwed up those 2 men, right?
Thank you for that. This was all a part of your plan, right?
Hey! You don't really have to call it a plan. I just made sure to place cameras all around your house and do a little bit of deep web research into your husband was all. You were the one that actually put all the evidence I pulled to work, right? And you acting like a boss about it was so cool.
And what are you going on about right now? Had it not been for you, then who knows what would have happened to me at the hands of those 2 killers that Lilia went and hired. I really am so thankful after what you've done for me. I'm alive and well today because of you.
I told you before, right? No matter what happens, I'll be there to protect you.
Both Lilia and Jack had to confront the family about everything they had learned about those 2. And in the end, both of them were disowned and told to screw off. Of course, since the both of them loved to survive off their prides, they started going back and forth blaming one another for the outcome of having lied. They both were already in extreme debt, but later having to appear in court to pay me settlements without any way of fighting back, they really ended up going to debt hell. This left them with no way of paying for the house Jack's mom had been living in, and soon enough, they were evicted from it and left to the streets while trying to pay off the debt they were in. This also did not help Jack's addiction to gambling, nor his addiction to the women he was going out with behind my back either. And he continued to borrow money, only this time, it was from loan sharks instead of his mother and I. Due to the story about them both spreading throughout the town like wildfire, everyone around no longer trusted the 2, and therefore, they could not find anyone who would be willing to spare a little money to help them through hard times. From what I've heard about Jack in recent times, he's been having to dodge the loan sharks who are after him after not having paid anything back to any one of them yet. I hear that they currently took Lilia hostage and have been hiding her somewhere where they can keep her as leverage for getting that money from Jack once they catch up to him. It also appears that Lilia never ended up paying those two men the full amount they had both asked for to go out and try to kill me. I'm sure that when they're both out of jail for what they've tried to do to me, they will be looking for her like the loan sharks are doing going after Jack. But that's only if they can find out where the loan sharks have hidden her, and only if she's still alive by the time the loan sharks have had their ways with her and Jack. Either things end up turning out in the end, it seems that both of their futures are sealed, and there will be no real light at the end of the tunnel for them. But we're both complete strangers to everyone, really, so I'm pretty sure not a single one of us cares. After all the bad things that happened, there was one good thing that came out of all of it, and it was a deepened relationship with my brother. As both his sister and a parent of his, I am really proud of everything he had done to protect me this time. I understand that things had to get a little bit violent there between him and those two thugs, but at least he never ended up getting hurt, and that showed me just how much he'd grown. If he continues to protect me in the way he had done then, I think I'll be safe from anything this world has to attack me with, and that makes me very happy. As of right now, I've been living life as a single mother after I was able to get full custody of Cameron after the divorce from Jack. I already have a bunch of experience doing such a thing, though, having raised my brother in the past as well from a pretty young age. So, even if this is a bit tough on me now, I know that I'll be all right, and that Cameron will be as well. I am going to work on pulling myself together even further, and raising a son who will never have the kind of behavioral issues his father and grandma have. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
I'm going to assume this is your phone number then, Willa? This is Rowan's father, Jeffrey. He gave me your phone number just a little bit ago, and that's why I'm able to text you now. There's something I'd like to ask you right now before you and him get too carried away with wanting to get married. Would you be willing to give me a bit of your time right now?
This is Rowan's dad? Well, you were given the right number because this is indeed me. I'm so happy to finally have a chance to talk with you, though. Go ahead and ask me anything. I hope that whatever it is you may be interested in, I can help you understand.
I heard that you happened to graduate from college and everything like that. Should I believe that to be a fact then?
Yes, you should. I graduated from the University of Michigan, actually, and went there and got a bachelor's, but after graduating, I decided to work in emergency services as an EMT.
I see. Then that should mean there are no issues with your educational background.
I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you're wanting to ask me about today?
How were you raised by your parents before you entered the University of Michigan? Of course, you graduated from high school and everything like that, but what was your GPA coming out of there and what did you score on your SAT?
So you want to know about my education before university as well? When I graduated from high school, I had a GPA of 3.7. But when it came to my SAT, I ended up scoring a 1550 on it first time I took it. That's partially why I was able to get into the university in the first place.
So that would mean you completed all of your studies and were able to put all of the knowledge you learned to the test in order to get into that university?
What do you mean by that? Of course I had to use all the knowledge I had gained from my studies in high school to get into college there. Did you think I had some kind of a connection or something? Nobody in my family had ever been there before me, nor did I have any friends there. The only thing that made me different from a lot of the other students that were accepted is that the high school I went to is managed by the university.
What? So you were bound to be accepted into the university. I wouldn't claim that you got into that school with your own strengths then. There's a chance then that a lot of the people you were going to school with back in high school weren't all too smart. Not something I'd be proud of if I were you.
What? I'm sure that could be true. I'm sorry if I was sounding arrogant in any way there.
So, does that mean you've been going to private schools all your life?
What? Private schools? I'm sorry, but both the elementary school and the middle school that I went to were public. And some could even argue that the high school I was going to was public. I was going to whatever schools were in the town I grew up in at the time.
What? So you're saying you were going to such low-level schools? It's one thing to be proud of the fact that you got to go to the University of Michigan for 4 years and graduate from there, but if your time in primary school was all spent in a public school, I can't believe you would be all right saying something like that to me.
Is going to public school back then really something to be surprised about?
In other words, your parents didn't have enough money to send you to a private school. Or could it be that you weren't smart enough for those schools?
Hold on. Back in the town where I was from, there was no private schools besides the Catholic school, but I didn't really need to go there back then. Actually, the public school system in that town is rated as one of the top public school systems in the state. And everyone from there all went to the same schools together. We all stuck together from elementary school all the way to high school. That was normal for us. And I kind of thought going to public school was a normal thing for everyone.
I see. So that's the kind of family and town you were raised in. Are you still living together with the both of your parents right now?
No, actually, when I started to go to college, I began living on my own. And I started to go out with your son not too long after, when one of our friends introduced us to one another. Since we've both been pretty far away from you and your wife, Rowan has never really been able to show me to either one of you. And, well, now that we're out of school and engaged to each other, we thought it was time for me to finally go out and meet with you. Hence why we made the plans for me to come with him to your guys' house, which I'm very excited about, since that'll be in a few days.
Is that right? Well, considering that you did graduate from a university that's pretty well known and are currently working for a company that's also pretty well known, I'll allow you to come over to our house and see my wife and I. But there are some things about you that I can't quite lay my finger on just yet. I have a lot more that I'd like to talk with you about when you come to see us, so make sure you're ready for some long discussions with my wife and I.
Okay, I'll make sure to get some rest then. I look forward to seeing both you and your wife in a few days.
You really make such big deals out of nothing. A little bit over-dramatic, are we? All I did was give you a soft punch and you've had to run off and hide in the bathroom? I knew that a woman such as yourself would not be fit for a son like mine.
That was a soft punch to you? My jaw is completely stiff now, and there's a massive gash on the inside of my cheek. There is still a bunch of blood coming out of my mouth, and the pain is really radiating into my skull. Why would you do something like this?
Why would I? I'm sure you already know why, right? You think I was going to let my son, the son of a family of well-renowned police officers, marry a disgraceful, motherless child?
I can't believe you'd say that. My dad has done everything he could to make sure that I was raised just like everyone else who has their mom still. I don't think you should be talking poorly about either one of us.
Is it painful for you to be punched? Are you going to cry and whine about how it was unfair of me to punch you like that? Go ahead, give your worthless father a call and bring him out here. Cry, Papa! Papa, help me! Tell him that you're in trouble with the police now!
Is that what you'd like me to do? So be it. I guess I will give my dad a call. I'll make sure that he makes an example out of you, Jeffrey.
Oh, go ahead and call his ass out here right now. I bet all he's good at is using his body to work some kind of labor-intensive job, right? Does he even have a brain up there? Go ahead, have him come out here because I want to see what kind of muscular dumbass your father is. Just make sure he knows the moment he even tries to inflict any violence towards me, he's gonna get shot.
I think you should cut the childish behavior of looking down on others like that out right now.
What just happened there? I am so sorry about. I never thought that your father would end up being the chief of the state police.
I told your husband what would happen, that my dad would be coming out here to make a very good example out of him. Sure, my dad may be very large and muscular, but thankfully these days he's a bit more relaxed after having left the military. But did you guys not stop to think that perhaps my dad was the real deal and could actually do something about your husband's actions?
I didn't think your father would be. I didn't think that the chief of the state police would be coming to our house today. As part of our family of renowned police officers, I am so happy to have him here. And thinking now that the daughter of the chief of the state police will be getting married to our son, now that both my husband and I are aware of who your father is, we have no problem with you marrying our son. Please, tell your father that we are looking forward to seeing him again and talking more in depth about your guys' marriage.
Amanda, I don't understand how you can say such a thing like that now, after your husband just got taken away by the state police. Just as my dad said, all of your family who are working for the city's police force will now be relieved of your duties and forced to find other work. Do you understand what that means for you, Amanda? That means you can no longer sit there acting as though you're tough crap, just because some of your family has been on the city's police force all their life.
I'm sure that we could do something. What my husband did to you, punching you in the face, was his fault, as he didn't consult with anyone else before doing such a thing. The rest of us have nothing to do with his choices, so please, don't let your father do this to us. To have all of us fired together like that, please tell me that he was just joking about all of that.
You're making it look like the family never cared for your husband at all and are completely fine with tossing him out. But I saw everything, Amanda. The rest of you didn't step in to do anything about your husband when he struck me. You all just stood back and watched it happen. And you, Amanda, you stood there smiling and laughing through your nose. And when I hit the ground and let out a scream, you started to laugh even more before realizing that the blood from inside my mouth was falling onto your carpet. Then you began to yell at me, not your husband, about the blood staining your precious carpeting. And what was it you said before I ran off? Don't stain my carpet with your dirty low-life blood. You were the one that said that to me as I scrambled back up and ran off. And as I wobbled left to right trying to make it down the hallway, you stood there laughing.
Because then you weren't the daughter of the chief of the state police to me. I didn't know any better then. I assumed you were nothing more than the scum my family arrest all the time, and thought it would fit the atmosphere to laugh. But soon after, your father showed up in a state police cop car.
That's right. He sure did make an entrance, didn't he? And when I stepped out to see how shocked all of you were from seeing my dad, I was entertained. I never thought that us humans could make such a face that could show just how scared we really were.
Willa, of course I've learned my lesson, but so has my husband. That is why. Can you please go to your father and let him know that we are both very, very sorry for the way we behaved today?
Sorry for the way you behaved? Tell me, why would you be sorry for that? I thought you both intentionally acted like that, knowing very well what you were doing to me.
Because we didn't know at the time that my husband was punching the daughter of the chief of the state police. And due to our misunderstandings, we said some very immature things to you about yourself and your father. I want you and your father to both know that, had we known you were his daughter, something like this would have never, ever happened to you.
Don't you find what you said just a little odd? Does that mean if I weren't the daughter of the chief of the state police, your husband punishing me would have been warranted? That's what you just said to me, right? That's why you thought it was okay to laugh at me after being assaulted and told me to get my blood off your carpet, right?
No, wait. I said that was, my family is a family of renowned police officers, which means we wanted to make sure our son would be married to someone of a similar background. That's why when you said you were raised by your single father, we didn't think you would be a good enough wife for our son.
Is that right? Well, I guess everyone has their own way of thinking, don't they? That would mean that your family's way of thinking and my family's way of thinking are completely different from one another. Just like my dad was saying, you all need to be punished for your actions immediately.
Why, Willa? Don't you still love our son to the point that you want to marry him? I'm telling you that you're allowed to marry him now if you'd like. So shouldn't you be trying to flatter us in some way now?
About what I think about your son now, you're better off just forgetting that I ever was in love with him. I mean, that love that I had for him waking up this morning is all gone now, thanks to that punch your husband landed on me.
What? What do you mean by that?
I meant exactly what I just said. Did you see your son today doing anything to come and help me after my jaw was punched and I was bleeding everywhere? Tell me right now, what did he do to protect me from his mom and dad? Did he do something for me even? No, I don't think he did jack. Actually, the one thing he did do was smile and laugh along with you, so that you guys wouldn't get upset with him.
He just acted like that because our family is very strict. And when it comes to his father, what he says goes, which means that if my husband wasn't happy with you at all, neither was my son. He knew at the time there wouldn't be a chance of marrying you anymore, so there was no need for him to help protect you.
And since that's the case, I don't give a damn about your son anymore. Now he's gone and really upset me because instead of even showing a little bit of care for me by asking if I was okay, he just stood there listening to and agreeing with you both. And right before your husband punched me, what did your son say again? What did Rowan say? Why didn't you tell me earlier that your dad was a single parent? That right there really pissed me off, but I couldn't show that anger because the next thing I knew, my lights were knocked out for a couple of seconds.
That was There was no helping that. He was just as shocked as the rest of us were. And now you're saying you won't marry him because of that? Are you really that picky of a woman?
Yes, I am, actually. Because if I were to go ahead and still marry a man whom which I know despises me, who knows what would happen between us later on? You really think I'm going to be that stupid? That's why I'm backing down from marrying him now. And thank God I learned about the true Rowan now before it was too late.
No way. There's no way this could be happening.
Yeah, seriously. There's no way something like this could have happened. Getting punched in the face just because my dad is a single parent. And it's not like I was trying to hide that from anyone anyway. Nobody ever really asked about my parents, even Rowan, so I never talked about them. And now, after really putting some thought into all of this, your son must have never really been into me that much anyway. I think he just wanted to marry me because he's young and found me to be his easiest option after college.
That's not all true. Hey, we all share some roots in things like the police force, so you have to understand what was going through our minds, right? We can get over all of this together and act as though nothing serious ever happened. I think we can all laugh about this in the future. So please, Willa, find some way to go to your father and let him know that we're all sorry and would like him to forgive us.
No. What you should have been starting with is an apology for punching me in the face. I was punched in the jaw by a man 3 times my size, and that threw me 5 feet into your wall and onto the floor. My jaw is still not able to move without serious pain, and the inside of my cheek is so badly cut up that it'll need some stitches. From what I can see, my jaw is probably broken, and that's why it keeps throbbing so badly. I'm telling you right now that I will be taking your husband to court and winning a settlement from him.
I think what he did, he took things way too far then. But you were the one that never told any of us before that your father is a single parent, right? Also, you never told anyone about the fact that your father is the chief of the state police. There were plenty of very important things you forgot to tell us, or chose not to mention, that got us into this predicament, right?
I see here that I can no longer talk with you people.
You people?
I told you none of you ever asked me about my parents or about what my dad does. You all just assumed one thing or another and went with it, basing all your choices of it. And what the hell is so wrong with me not having a mom around anyway? It's a pretty common thing these days, so I would never actually try to hide it from anyone. It was just something that never got brought up. I mean, if you all really cared that much about someone else's parents, why didn't you start by asking me about them a long time ago? I think before you started any of this BS, you maybe should have wondered why you cared so much when your son isn't anything special. He's just your basic office worker, for crying out loud. You never saw my dad or I complaining about him, right? If you want to blame someone for all of this, start with your son, who is a complete idiot and never really showed any interest in my family in the first place.
Excuse me?
My dad is pissed that his only child was just punched in the face by a man who claims to be a renowned police officer. If my dad wasn't in a higher position than you all, I wonder how things would be playing out for me right now. For my dad, right now, I hope that my dad does everything in his power to make sure you all learn from what you've done today. Now, if y'all have any more complaints about what's happening next, take it up with my dad instead of me, please. I'm cutting ties to you all now and will no longer bother with any of you.
Long time no see, Willa. The reason why I'm talking with you again after so long is because I have something to ask from you.
Who are you again?
I'm your previous fiancé's father, Jeffrey. I'm sorry for all the troubles that I had caused for you back then. So very sorry.
And what would you like from me now? I have a scar across the bottom of my jaw and had to spend 2 months drinking my food. It was one hell of a time after that surgery. Have you finally found the pair of balls you dropped years ago that will allow you to apologize to me? After that day, I have never heard anything from you about being sorry.
Ever since that day, I have felt so sorry for what I'd done and regret every bit of it. After that, I was forced to step down from my position on the police force and was taken into custody by the state police. After that, I never had the time to ever get in touch with you again because I had so much going on myself.
Tell me why you're messaging me now then. What could you possibly want with your victim of assault years after the incident?
I understand that it's been a couple of years now since all of that, unfortunately, went down. And that's why I would like to properly apologize to you now for it.
That's not at all why you're texting me, Jeffrey. You just told me you had something to ask of me, right? A favor? I don't remember you guys ever being so well behaved. So of course, there is something more to all of this. So, what do you want from me?
My son, Rowan, he was arrested for molesting someone.
What? Wait, are you kidding me?
It seems that he had this sudden impulse or something. He had always been raised to respect the law, considering this whole family is known for being in the police force. But after I was arrested, perhaps he lost faith or something in the system. Recently, I was always wondering why he seemed very off, like he no longer trusted anyone.
Absolute pile of trash, isn't he? I must have been in a really dangerous place going out with him and getting engaged to him. To think I was this close to becoming the wife of a molester? So I can see you got over your pride and managed to tell me that about your boy. What do you want from me?
Being arrested over something like molestation, that's something that is not taken well at all in this world. If he were to be charged with that in court soon, he would have that on his permanent record for life, and that would ruin any chance of succeeding in life for him. So I thought that maybe somehow, with the help of your father's power in... Do you think you could get your father to remove the charges that are being held against him?
Huh? You are really the scum of the earth, aren't you? I'm not doing that crap for you. I won't. I can't. And I have no reason to.
Don't say something like that, please, Willa. Just this. Please, just do something about this. I don't think my son did anything wrong to begin with. He was just trying to go out with you and make plans for marriage at the time. Had I never stepped in the way of that dream he had, then right now he'd be married to the daughter of the chief of the state police. My whole family of police officers would all be on top of the world with the help of your father's status. But because of the needless crap that I pulled years ago...
Well, what do you know? You seem to have finally come around to blaming yourself. Well, you're right. That is why everything in your life is all screwed up now. Had you never used and abused your name as a renowned police officer, then you all would be living pretty decent lives and not have to be worried about your son, the molester. I'm sure you guys would even be considered some of the state's finest.
And I don't think it's too late for us just yet. If you and your father help us here, we won't ever bite back at you guys like we'd done again. We will do everything you guys say, so please do something to help us here.
From all the crap I've heard coming out of your mouth, not one bit of it was worth my time. Also, I don't think my dad or I can see any possible reason to stick our neck out for you guys when there's nothing in it for either of us.
We can make something work. I'll make sure my son repays you both in some way.
We don't have a need for whatever your son has to offer us. Molesting someone is a very serious offense and will land him in jail, I presume. Why did you think that begging a stranger to help you bail him out would work in your favor? And why did you think something like touching another person's body without their permission was a crime my dad would be fine with overlooking? Perhaps it's because you're a prejudiced man that doesn't understand us women. But even if your disgusting son was pardoned from his crimes or bailed out by my dad, everyone would still know about what he's done as it's on the news, and not a single woman would want to be with him. I just looked what happened up, by the way, and the girl Rowan touched was 16. Do you know how scared she must have been when that happened to her? I think your son is going to either be paying her a lot of money for what he done, or rotting away in prison for touching an underage girl. Most likely both.
But it was really just a sudden urge.
And so what? I thought you all worked for the police before. Did you all just let robbers, killers, and molesters get away because they said it was just a sudden urge? He should not be forgiven for what he's done, that pile of crap, and you should be forced to suffer some more alongside him. I could send screenshots of this conversation to both my dad and the judge right now, and we'd see what happens to you.
My son has really learned that what he'd done was wrong, though. That's why, just this one time, I'm asking you to...
I don't give a damn. That freak needs to pay for his disgusting crimes. That's how this stuff works. Sure, he may feel bad for what he's done now, but he has not been punished yet, and he won't be a changed man until that punishment has been inflicted upon him. And one last thing. If Rowan was wanting to feel up another girl like that so badly, then maybe he should make some money and hire a prostitute. Why do you think there are women out there making so much money doing things like that? Because there are plenty of freaks like your son that need their fix.
No way. I understand. I get that my son is a freak now, but ever since that day your dad came to our house, we've been at a loss. My son was forced to get himself a new job working part-time, and his pride was ruined. And myself, I had to lose my job as a police officer and serve time for what I did to you. Without me, my son had to go through that hard time alone, and that's what led to him committing such a filthy crime.
Everyone goes through hard times, you dick, but not everyone goes out and molest others because of it. I don't care how hard it may have been on you guys, you all deserved what you got. So stop acting like you guys don't deserve all that you've gotten, because you're not the victims. You're all the criminals that my dad has been working so hard to get rid of, and I will not step in and jeopardize his mission.
We didn't mean to. I'm really so sorry.
I really do not have the time to care about your bullcrap anymore, Jeffrey. You all being complete idiots is not something I'm responsible for. You were all raised to think what you were doing was okay, so now you're going to have to deal with the outcome of your actions. I don't think any of you guys deserve to be on the street anymore, to be honest, thinking that you are the victims of everything when it doesn't benefit you. I hope you and your family of scum go and rot in hell for the rest of time. Rowan soon had a name made for himself as the disgusting molester child of his ex-police officer family. His dad could do nothing for him, and he was forced to wait in his jail cell until the day of his trial, where he'd have to go up and face that girl he touched on the bus. Jeffrey was also going through a lot at the time he was texting me last, since he had only gotten out of prison himself a week or two earlier, after being sent there for punching me. His wife Amanda was still around, but had to pick up the slack while he was away, making money working 3 jobs, and the rest of the family had cut ties to them after they were too taken off by the police force. As for what happened with myself, a few years back after being assaulted, I went to the ER and had my surgery done the next day to fix my jaw, and there I found who would become my husband in the future. My surgeon, and thanks to our paths crossing in the hospital, I now have myself a very kind man that, unlike Rowan, will always have my back no matter what. Thinking back on the family of Jeffrey, I really do take pride in what my dad has to do, because if it wasn't for him being in such a high position, then who knows what could have happened between myself and that family then. Sydney, is it true that you were adopted into your brother's family? I can't believe you still try and act like his little sister. Disgusting. You are definitely not coming to our wedding. I cannot be asked to have some kind of stranger like you acting as though you're family at a place like my wedding. What? You didn't know about that before? I thought I explained all of that to you a while back when I first met you, Brianna. Well, I never really care to listen to anything you have to say. I've always thought of you as this really boring girl and all, which has always been odd to me considering the kind of man that Brendan is. But now that I'm aware that you're not even related to him, it all makes a whole ton more sense. There is not a better man around than my lovely and strong man, Brendan. Oh, that's right. You are madly in love with everything about Brendan. And that's why you always pushed me away anytime I came to talk with you guys. Not only does he have a really good body and face, but he's also insanely good at sports and currently running a company of his own. I never thought that a man as perfect as him could ever have such a boring little sister like the one I'm having to talk to right now. But now that I'm aware you were adopted into his family, it all makes a bunch more sense to me. I don't want you coming to our wedding, all right? And from here on out, I don't want you calling yourself Brendan's family anymore, okay? I have not been going around doing something like that anyway. I barely even talk to the guy anymore now that we're both older. So yeah, I can leave you both alone now and do my own thing. But just don't let him out of your sight, or he might come back looking for me. Like he'd ever. There is nothing special about you that is worth Brendan's attention anymore. You're not even related by blood. Like, how come he was even calling you a sister when even he knows that your guys' relationship is so stupid? I'm laughing so much about this right now. You've just been lying about being a part of his family this whole time. The next time I'm able to go out and see his parents, I want to ask them why they even bothered adopting. I have no idea why you think it's so funny to make fun of me that way. Are you even going to listen to what I have to say about all of this? You never listening to anyone besides Brendan and your own conscience is one of your worst qualities. Ugh, I don't like to be preached by strangers, all right? I was taught by my parents all my life to never talk with strangers, so I'm afraid I should stop talking with you now, too.
Then stop texting me and go find something better to do with your time. I don't even want to talk with you right now anyway.
It seems like that you and I both hate one another now. How about we just cut to the chase and cut ties to one another? I would hate to have you still sitting around my Brendan when you could tell him all sorts of nasty things about me, which are lies.
Stop talking to me like you know anything at all about what I do and the relationship I have with Brendan. I like to think I could be helping him out right now by getting you the heck away from him.
Huh? Now you're really starting to let crazy things slip out of that mouth of yours, huh? All you are is a little parasite that depends on the money Brendan makes and don't even have a job of your own, right? You're not going to help him in any way by doing that. Rather trip him up and ruin things for everyone.
Does Brendan say that kind of crap about me?
Well, of course he does. But I knew all of that about you from the very start, Sydney. The only thing I didn't know was that you were not related to Brendan by blood. So thinking you were actually his sister, I thought he had no other choice but to help you out financially. However, now that I'm aware of who you really are, I think he needs to cast you out right now, you stranger. Brendan really is so kind to other, lesser people, isn't he?
I feel like I'm about to explode here in a few seconds, so I'm calling this here. You and I are both going to cut ties to one another now, right?
That's absolutely right. And like I was just saying, you are not coming out to our wedding. Understood?
I understand. I'm not going.
I don't even want to see your face anymore. This also means you can't come to Brendan anymore begging for money, right?
I know. I will no longer be going around the both of you. Thank you very much.
Acting all tough now, are we?
I heard about this from Brianna, but are you really not planning on coming to our wedding?
That's right, I'm not going. She told me that she wouldn't allow me to come, and before I could even explain much to her, she shut me out. I'm freaking tired of all her crap, Brendan. I want to ask you something. Are you seriously planning to still marry a girl like her?
Well, of course I am. I can't allow a chance like this to run away from me any longer. Brianna is completely in love with me and can't take her eyes off me. You can see that yourself, right? Also, Brianna was born into a lot of money. As long as I'm able to marry her, I'll have a safe and secure future, right?
Oh, come on now, Brendan, and stop all of that. Aren't you aware of how strict her family is about stuff like that? I don't think things are going to go well for you in a family like that. So are you really sure you still want to marry her?
I won't know how things will go with her family without trying, you know. Also, with how things have already been going for me, if I don't do anything soon, I'm gonna live a bad life. So shouldn't I be taking chances now to try and save my skin? I mean, at least when I first went and saw her parents, they both seemed chill and okay with the man I am. So there's no way this can actually end horribly for me, even if Brianna herself is a bit much.
Alright, I get that she may be a total jerk, but the fact that she's being fooled into loving a man like you right now is so saddening.
I haven't been fooling her about anything, Sydney. She was the one that fell head over heels for me. That's why I'm saying I'll never have a chance like this again if I let this one get away from me.
I'm sure that might be the case for you, but that girl isn't any better off than you are, okay? Have you heard from her anything about the things she said to me?
Just think about this, please. Do you really think a well-put-together woman would be falling in love with me like that?
That's true, I guess.
I don't really care about the kind of personality she has. As long as she's madly in love with me and willing to marry right now, that's all that matters to me. I haven't even had to lie to her any yet, and things have been going great so far.
You haven't lied to her yet? Then what's this about you owning and running your own company right now? You haven't told her that all you're doing is wearing a suit outside the house to make it seem like you're going to work, when you're really just going to play the slots? And what about you thinking of me as the parasite?
Okay, fine. Those are the only lies I've told. But besides that, I've been honest to her.
Well, these 3 lies you've told her are enough to make you a dang good lying bastard. Jesus, man. You are, for a lack of better words, my older brother still, right? How about you pull yourself together and do things the right way?
Well, I'm not related to you by blood or anything, so why does it matter what I do? You have all your crap together, huh? I'm very jealous of that.
But you could pull yourself together as well right now, and that's all I'm wanting out of you. You are far too old now to still be treating life like a game, Brendan. How about you start taking some things a bit more seriously? Please.
Are you done? In this world, there are the people that work really hard and the people that don't put any effort in at all. You are one of those people that put all their effort into everything, and that'll never change. However, I'm not that kind of person. No matter how much I want to try my best, I just can't. That's not the man I am. Every time I think about doing my best, I end up at the casino.
I think you're just seriously addicted to gambling and could have that fixed if you started to get help for it. But instead, you're just going around lying to others about yourself and about the kind of person I am in the family. What do you think you're doing, Brendan? You're making me look bad.
But Sydney, what would happen if Brianna stopped loving me? The only way that I can keep her around is by making myself look good and making you look like a lowlife. It seems that Brianna was never really into you from the start, so giving her a reason not to be really earns me some brownie points with her.
I can't believe you. What do you think you're actually doing, making up so many lies that you're even messing with my life now?
Oh, if you'd like, you could take a try at my life and find out.
No, thank you. Hey, you've called me over 300 times now, Brianna. Would you cut it out already? It's 10 a.m. on a Saturday. I got so many calls from you that by the time I actually woke up to go and silence my phone, it died. I had to keep calling because you wouldn't answer your phone sooner. You need to get over to this wedding right now. Huh? Why should I have to do that? You were telling me before that I was definitely not invited to or allowed at your wedding, right? I get that, but things have changed drastically. There are so many people here that want to meet with you right now. I started off by telling them all you went missing and couldn't be found, but that only made them more upset with me, and now they are asking over and over again why you're not here. Huh? You told them I went missing. Why would you give them that reason for me not being there? I couldn't just tell them you weren't invited to the wedding today because you're not a part of our family. Now could I? The only thing I could say was that I invited you, but you never showed up and wouldn't answer your phone. Are you daft? If that was how you were going to handle this, you were better off never telling me not to come out in the first place. What kind of person are you to these people? Why are there so many people here right now that want to meet with you today? Well, that's because I just so happen to be the CEO of the company that Brendan works at. What? And I'm going to assume that those people that want to meet with me today are people like my customers or colleagues. All you needed to say to them was that I wasn't coming today. Yet instead, you made it sound like something serious happened to me by saying I'd gone missing. No wonder they are all upset now. I told you I had no other choice, all right? All I could say to them is that you were invited here today but never showed up. But there was no reason for you to say that I became a missing person, Brianna. Why didn't you lie and say I felt sick today, or that I had something come up which caused me to stay home? Shut up already! Who do you think you are making fun of me right now, you stranger? Then stop talking to a stranger like that and put down your damn phone. That's it, no more. I'm going back to bed now, so good night. Hold on a second. Hey, are you kidding me? Are you really the CEO? Sydney? Hey! What? God damn, yes, I am the CEO. If you think that I'm lying to you about that, then take a look at the company's homepage and see who it is. Both a picture of me and my name are on there at the bottom of the homepage. No way. You weren't kidding. What? Why? Why did you never tell me anything about the fact that you're the CEO and not Brendan? I like to think that I did tell you before, but you never give a damn about what anybody else says to you besides Brendan. No, what? Are you serious? By the way, the fact that Brendan lied to me about this is even more strange, right? Why would he do that? Right now, I have no idea why this has all happened.
Tell me, what is Brendan doing right now?
Well, I'm in the changing room right now hiding, so I'm not sure what all is going on out there right now. God, what should I do right now?
Well, for starters, you need to go out there and tell everyone that I have not gone missing or anything like that, okay? Ugh, damn it, now you've really gone and screwed things up for me, Brianna.
But wait, don't make it sound like I went and lied to everyone, all right?
Huh?
Yeah, sure. I did lie about how you went missing and all that, hence why you didn't come to my wedding today. But I never did that with the intent of making you look bad, as it was all just one big misunderstanding on my part. You make up some kind of reason for me, like that you forgot to tell me where you were, and that you never said anything about not coming to my wedding today.
In other words, you want me to take the blame for your actions? Are you being serious right now?
Well, if you don't do that, then everyone is going to call me a liar. This is my wedding of all things, and I do not want to be seen as a liar. This all happened because of you anyway.
I'm sorry, but after that crappy comment about me, I'm going to tell everyone the truth.
Huh? If you do that, you'll be screwing me over. What would happen if that caused Brendan to start to hate me? He already seems really angry with me right now.
I have no reason to just sit around doing as you say, when you're the one stirring up trouble right now and asking me to help you. Also, I'm sure that Brendan's not angry at you, so you don't have to be worried about him right now.
Hey, please, do not tell anyone the truth about this.
Sorry, but I have to. Unlike you, I don't want to be a liar and will not lower my standards down to yours for your sake.
Hey, come on now, please. Hey, Brendan, I am so sorry. I somehow made a very huge mistake. A misunderstanding. I made some kind of a huge misunderstanding. No matter what Sydney has to say about it, know that this was all just one big misunderstanding.
Are you talking about how she's gone missing and can't be found?
Yes, but in reality, she's just been at home sleeping. She had never actually gone missing. Rather, she just never answered any of my calls. I'm really sorry that this has all led to so many of the guests here today getting all upset.
Don't worry about it. If she wasn't able to answer all of your calls this morning, then there was no other option but to assume she'd gone missing. Just forget about it now, and let's get back to having this really wonderful wedding.
Brendan, I am so happy to hear that from you. You really are the most kind man ever.
No matter what happens to you and I will always love and care for you. Which means with you, no matter what happens to us, please always love me.
Of course, no matter what happens, I'll always love you. I'm serious when I say that too, Brendan. Very, very serious.
Brianna, I love hearing that from you. Thank you so much. To be blessed with such a lovely woman as you right now, I must be the luckiest man in the world.
That's how I feel right now, Brendan. So no matter what happens to you or I will always, always, always love you. I swear to God.
Thank you, Brianna. Then it really is a promise. Do not break that promise, okay? We cannot do that after today, that's for sure.
I have no reason to ever break a promise as strong as love. And even if I wanted to break it, I never would be able to. And that's because I love you with every bit of my heart.
Brianna.
Hey! What is all of this about?
I told you what I was doing before, right? That I would be telling everyone the whole truth about everything. I was never going to listen to you by lying to all of those people.
I don't care about what you were saying before. Honestly, I don't even care if most of the guests that came here hate me now, because I'll always have Brendan's love.
Is that right? What a beautiful love you both share then. Then why are you getting so upset with me again?
I just listened to what all of the guests were talking about amongst each other. About how Brendan went and quit his job at the company, and that he never had any relationship with the company besides just being the CEO's older brother.
Ah, so you overheard all of that.
And that's not the only thing I heard. I also heard about how after he left the company, he started to get into gambling, and that right now he's in some very serious debt. You made up all those lies in order to make my Brendan look bad in front of everyone here, didn't you?
Brianna, I really want to ask you to do one thing for me. I know it's going to be difficult for you, but hear me out.
I want you to calm down and listen to what I'm about to say to you. All of those things you overheard are true. No way in hell they are. You're trying to get me to believe that a man as perfect as him would be in major debt right now because of gambling? No matter how I think that could happen to him, there's just no way. Brendan has another person that he's been hiding from you behind his mask. Well, he only uses that mask with you. But with everyone else, the real Brendan is the person he shows to the world. He is a man that went and left his job that I secured for him to start gambling. And after months of it and becoming seriously addicted to the game, started to go into some bad debt. I just told you that those are all lies you made about him to make him look bad. I don't care that I was the first to lie, but the way you've lied is by far the worst. Are you not ashamed of yourself? I have not been lying about anything, Brianna. All I've said was the truth, and nothing but the truth. Brendan is really that person. Go and talk with everyone there to see what they have to say about him. Shut your mouth already. I will not allow lies like those to continue to spread. Hey, are you done yet? I get that you don't want to believe me here, but if you really do go into that marriage thinking he's the man that he said he is, you'll be getting seriously screwed over. It'll be too late for you to do anything about him, and you'll live the rest of your life in regret. Is that what you want to happen? No, Brendan could never. He can't be. You can run from reality all you want to, but I think you need to think about the consequences of doing such a thing first. I think deep down you already know the truth, that being what I've told you about Brendan today. I know how to prove to you that you lied. I'm going to show you through Brendan himself that he's not the lowlife that you've made him out to be. Okay, go ahead and try. I hope you'll learn the truth along the way. Brendan, I'm in real shock right now. There's no way you've been hiding all those things from me this whole time, right?
What? I'm sorry, you're mistaken. I have been gambling all this time for your sake, Brianna. Sometimes I'll hit some massive jackpots, and I thought that by getting a couple of those, I'd be getting enough money to treat you to whatever you want. I felt that instead of working at a company where I was making okay money, it'd be a lot faster for me to just bet some money and have a chance at hitting some jackpots.
What? Then you seriously? What Sydney was saying about you lying to me was true?
Did she tell you about me? There's no way.
No, I never thought that this whole time you, of all people, would be lying to me, Brendan. Then that means everything Sydney said about you having quit your job and becoming addicted to gambling is true? And that must mean you're in some serious debt now as well.
Brianna, you are still madly in love with me, right? And also, just a little bit ago, you and I made a promise to one another that we'd be in love with each other forever, right? No matter what happens between you and I, we'd still love one another, right?
No thank you, Brendan.
What?
No freaking thanks. What the hell is wrong with you? I cannot forgive you for what you've done. What the hell were you thinking lying to me about all of that just to trick me into marrying you?
What was I just thought you were my only chance, and that I couldn't let a chance like you slip through my fingers. Also, your family happens to have a lot of money, so I felt that I was winning the jackpot with you, and that I'd never have to worry about money for the rest of my life.
Stop being so straight about it all, you asshole. Why, Brendan? You are a completely different person from the Brendan I grew to love.
But I never lied about coming from an elite university, and for a little bit I did experience running a portion of Sydney's company. I just ended up not being very good at it, so I had to be taken away from the position. But that still does not change the fact that I'm an elite.
You failed at that position, which means you're going to be a failure at everything else. I don't care that you went to some elite university back in the day, because look at yourself now. You're anything but elite. I'm going to make sure that you pay for this whole waste of time wedding you lied to me in order to have today.
What? But you promised me that no matter what, you'd still love me.
Who the hell would want to love a lying asshole like you? Sounds like somehow you managed to get your wedding canceled. That's great for you now, right? You were able to take care of things before that lying jerk took hold of you for good. Huh? Because of all this, I no longer have anybody around me that is willing to trust what I say to them. Since you never played along with me and lied about the fact that I lied to everyone about you having gone missing. My parents are no longer going to trust me. They told me that they're disowning me now too. I'm being told to go live on my own now.
Well, this is the perfect chance for you to finally stop sucking on your mother and start a life of your own, right?
I have not been working a job at all. How am I supposed to start a life of my own now? And since I'm no longer getting married to Brendan, I'll no longer have a place to call my home. I've also been told that I have to pay half of this damn wedding off. All this is completely screwed up and not fair.
Had you just been a bit nicer of a person, perhaps I'd be okay with you making yourself out to be the victim in all of this. Had you just refrained from digging into me for not being related to Brendan by blood.
I have learned my lesson from then now, so you need to go and talk to everyone out of abandoning me. Tell them all that I've learned my lesson and will never lie or treat anyone poorly ever again.
You seem to really enjoy the accessibility of lying there, Brianna. Are you sure you wouldn't have made an amazing couple with Brendan? Well, anyway, I don't have any reason to be helping you now. So with that, goodbye, forever.
Hold it right there! Please, listen to me.
I'm sorry, but my parents told me not to talk to strangers, like you. So, what are you going to be doing from here on out?
My only chance to get married to someone from money has been wasted and left me. I don't really have any reason to try working a serious job again to pay off my debts. I'm going to just have to get back to gambling again and hope for a major win.
I really think you need to stop that gambling nonsense right now, Brendan. Also, you're going to have to pay a certain amount for the wedding too, right?
Even if I have to go into a bit more debt so that I can pay the bill, it won't make a difference for me because I'm already in tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt.
I can't believe you're just okay with all of that.
I'm used to the heat of hell. I've heard that Brianna ended up becoming disowned by her family and will have to finally stand on her 2 feet in order to live. She'll probably end up the kind of person I've become, right?
Well, neither of you really matter to me.
Sydney, because I had lied about you before, I'm sure you hold a pretty big grudge against me now, right? But forget about it. I'm already living in hell, so there's no point in trying to get back at me any. Right now, I can't be damaged any more than I already am.
I know that already, but I don't have any grudges against you, so don't worry yourself with that. However, I won't be taking care of you anymore, so you'll have to figure things out on your own now.
What? Are you serious? Dang it. Then what should I do when I start to get hungry?
You'll have to take some more damage. After that, chaos called a wedding was over with. Brianna was forced out into the real world by her parents. They told her that she was no longer a part of their family and that it would be useless for her to try asking any of her aunts and uncles or her grandparents for anything, as they were all told about what happened and agreed that she did not deserve them. From there, it took her a week to cope with all that had actually gone down, and by the time she realized she was going to have to figure something out, she was down 20 pounds and very weak. She was somehow able to find herself a really, really cheap apartment while struggling with all that hunger, and a part-time job as well that she'd have to work overnight. Of course, being a little girl from a family with lots of wealth, having to live in such a dirty, small apartment while working part-time all night long had become hard for her. She would end up breaking down a lot at her job, which luckily was just working in a warehouse, so she wasn't troubling too many people with her screaming and whining. And after a couple of weeks of trying to deal with what life is like for most normal people, she began to think of ways to save herself from the dull life she's found herself in. So, in a last-ditch effort to try and get her life of having all the money she ever wanted back, she gave Brendan a call and got herself into gambling alongside him. Brendan was so excited to hear from her again, but when she told him she had no money anymore, he told her she could join him and increase his chances of winning. Right now, she's going with Brendan to all the most shady of casinos, trying her best with Brendan to score the big jackpot that will be able to free them both from a life of poverty. I'm sure that someone like Brendan is glad to have her back at his side, but she's going to end up rotting in the hell that he's grown so accustomed to. But let's be real here. Most of the places they are going to now to gamble are the kind of places that won't just let you get away with using borrowed money very often.
So when one of those shady casinos realizes they aren't really able to pay to play, I don't think we'll be hearing about those two ever again. Honestly, I'm so happy that the day of that wedding was the last time I ever had a talk with those two, and I no longer have to worry about them reaching out to me. I plan to move forward from all of what happened, forgetting about the both of them, so that I can continue to focus on my company and the future ahead of me. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.